Senator Cruz, if you overtake Donald Trump at the convention, what will you do to take his very passionate supporters and keep them from bolting the convention and sabotaging the fall election?
Well, look, there's some folks in Washington. Donald, you are welcome to be president of the Smithsonian.
That was one of the funnier moments last night. Texas Senator Ted Cruz, quick on his feet with a joke on last night's debate. But was his debate performance enough to give him an edge over the competition and have him win somewhere on Tuesday?
Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who is supporting Ted Cruz, joins us live from Austin. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ainsley.
What was your reaction to last night's debate?
Well, listen, I thought last night's debate was terrific for Ted Cruz because we're finally now getting down to the candidates being able to talk about the issues and separate themselves among the issues. And I'll go back to a comment that both Donald Trump and Ted Cruz made. Both of them agree that there's only two candidates in this race who have a mathematical possibility of winning the nomination, and that is Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. We need to get it down to these two candidates, have them battle it out for the rest of the primary.
But the problem, Governor, is the fact that John Kasich has made it very clear he's not dropping out before Ohio. He's the governor there, and he's leading by a little bit. And Marco Rubio, while it had been rumored, you know, if he doesn't win Florida, he's going to have to drop out on Wednesday morning. He made it clear yesterday he's not going anywhere either. So the plan to unite the party behind Ted Cruz as the anti-Trump guy, that's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, and first, what Ted Cruz is not asking for is trying to unite, if you would, the establishment behind him. But here's one thing that's going to be clear after Tuesday, and that is even assuming that Kasich wins Ohio, which I think and frankly hope that he does, one thing that will be clear is that mathematically it is impossible for either Kasich or Rubio to win. It will be mathematically possible for Cruz to be able to win. And I think that after Tuesday, the race will be narrowed down to the two candidates, Cruz and Trump. And here's the deal. Of what was made very clear in last night's debate, and that is Ted Cruz is the only candidate who robustly stands for conservative Republican principles. I think the more that people get to see that separation and difference between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, the Republicans will go to Ted Cruz knowing that we need a solid conservative leading this country.
Governor, and anyone who saw the debate last night could see how conversant he is on the issues. I thought he had a strong debate. However, I cannot see, so judging by the polling, any state which he wins on Tuesday. Can he actually say he's a contender and go 0 for 5 on Tuesday?
Well, here's the states he could win on Tuesday. We'll see, because here's what we found, and that is there were several states that people couldn't see him winning polling-wise before he won Kansas, before he won Idaho, before he won some of these other states. But he did, and here's why. And that's because now that the field has been narrowed, people are voting based more upon political ideology, about principles, and Ted Cruz is the only person out there who has a chance of winning, who has a solid record on conservative principles.
All right, Ted Cruz goes after President Obama. I want to play this soundbite from last night and then get your reaction.
We've seen for 7 years a president that has made the presidency and has made, sadly, his administration a laughingstock in the world. This administration started with President Obama sending back the bust of Winston Churchill to the United Kingdom within the opening weeks. Then he proceeded to go on a worldwide apology tour, apologizing for the United States of America. Our friends and allies quickly learned America could not be counted on. But the good news is, Jake, we've seen this before. We have seen a weak Democratic president undermine the military, weaken our readiness, weaken our respect in the world with Jimmy Carter. And in January 1981, Ronald Reagan came into office, and that can change overnight. It's worth remembering, Iran released our hostages the day Ronald Reagan was sworn into office.
And that was Ted Cruz last night. Now, can you see yourself, if it isn't Ted Cruz in the long run, Reince Priebus's message to all Republicans was rally around the guy who wins, would you rally around Donald Trump if he does win?
Listen, obviously the choice would be Hillary Clinton, who, it turns out, the way she's arguing and presenting her case for the presidency would be far to the left and far worse than Barack Obama. I'll give you just one clear example, and that is, in a large part, the future of the United States of America is going to hinge upon who appoints the successor to Justice Scalia. If Hillary makes that appointment, we are at a constitutional tipping point in this country. The country will tilt leftward in a hard way for a long time if Hillary Clinton makes that appointment. That's just one issue, but there's so many others. And so, of course, I will be supporting whoever the Republican nominee is, knowing they will be far superior to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, regarding that, let's say, because you were talking math earlier, delegate math, what if going into the convention, Donald Trump is real close to 1, 2, 3, 7, but he's not there? And then what happens in the next stage is uncharted territory, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if it's uncharted, because I think that we've had some conventions like this before. Yeah. Well, I may be older than you. But here's where we are, and that is, I do think that we will go into the convention with both Donald Trump and Ted Cruz being very, very close to having the delegates needed to win the nomination. And I think that either one will win or two, we will have a convention where delegates need to choose between one of those two candidates. And maybe it could be a situation where each of the two candidates get on the stage and articulate what their vision is and try to convince the delegates that they are the right person. I will add this. Let me add this, because it's a point that you made earlier. It's a point that's been made frequently, and that is Donald Trump has brought into the Republican Party, into this campaign, a lot of new voters. It is essential for Republicans, whatever happens, that we're able to continue to bring those voters in and get them to vote for the Republican nominee in November.
All right, very good. Meanwhile, you got something big going on. South by Southwest is happening this weekend. I know the president is going to be in attendance there. Also, I did not realize that Austin, Texas, is the top city in the nation for tech jobs, creative jobs, and startup activity. What are you doing down there in the Lone Star State?
Well, you know, there's a great misconception that some people in America have. They think that Texas is an oil and gas state. Oil and gas is really just the gravy we put on our meal. Our bread and butter is healthcare and technology. I'll throw out a question and then answer it, and that is, what state in the United States of America do you think is the leading exporter of technology? The answer is...
Hold on. I'd go with Texas.
Texas?
Texas leads the nation in technology exports, and is about to get even more robust, because Oracle just announced they are building a 27-acre campus right here in Austin, Texas. Apple is about to open their second largest campus in the world, where the Western Hemisphere operations will be conducted right here from Austin, Texas. But we have small startups like LiveOps that just moved from the San Francisco area to Austin, Texas. It's a leading cloud-based company, and because these companies realize the cost of doing business, the taxes, the regulations are far easier, far lower, and it's far more profitable for them to do business in the Lone Star State.
Especially compared to California.
What an appearance.
Thanks so much.
He talked Texas, tech, and Ted. Governor, thank you.
Thank you so much, Governor.
Thank you all.
All right.
When I lived in Texas, no state tax comes out of your paycheck. It's pretty great.
It's very attractive, and the weather's good there, too.
Same with Florida, you're right. All right.